What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again, and we are going to be doing another review on, honestly, not too long after I did a review on The Deliverance, which, again, if you guys have seen that film, I do highly recommend you watch what I'm about ready to inform you on. Now, some of you guys that are, I would say, horror fans, paranormal fans, Ghost Adventure fans, and more than likely you probably have seen this product. If you haven't, stick around because we're going to be getting into something that goes along with the Deliverance and also the actual facts of what happened. Now, this was directed by and starred in and produced by Zach Bagans, the leader of the Ghost Adventures team. Very renowned, respected investigator of the paranormal. And when he learned about this story, he bought the house as soon as he could. And I'm summarizing, I'm not going into every detail, so again, if I get something wrong, okay, then I apologize. He bought the house as soon as possible. And when he did, and this was in the early years of like 2014, 15, because the film came out in 2018. After the film came out, Zach, he stated that he became ill. He was in bed for 8 days. There was a lot of issues filming. There was issues with crew. There was issues with everything. So in the entirety of this investigation, he tried to talk to the actual family this happened to. It does not go well because the only person he talks to is the brother of the sister of the lady that this happened to, and she does not want to talk to Zach because apparently they are going to be getting a possible movie deal, which goes into the Deliverance. Now, again, we do not know. I don't think no one knows if, again, the movie that just came out was going to be the movie that was going to be coming out possibly earlier at some point. So that's going to be left to skeptics and everyone behind the scenes that actually knows what happened. There was a part where Zach got a call from someone of Legal Wise where I think they were trying to take the story from him, even though he owned the house, and he was going after the story first to actually confirm if this was a hoax or if it was true. And the entirety of the film goes into him talking to not only police, talking to the CPS worker, finding out about the other CPS worker, talking to other ones that was in the house, and talking to other ones within the field of trying to figure out, was this bogus or was it not. Same thing with the priest that performed the exorcism on the lady that this happened, and him having to perform a exorcism on a daughter of another lady that lived there before this family. Now, again, whether you believe this or not, some of this stuff you can't make up. A lot of these people either got hurt a lot or became very deathly ill. There was one gentleman that came in there to help Zach with readings of the house, and in a few days his organs started shutting down. There was a policeman that came in there multiple times, and a couple days after he had an interview with Zach on what happened, he got hurt and fell on the ice. And then there was same thing with the CPS worker. She had a lot of issues where either physical or mentally ill, where her hand went white after touching something. The blinds apparently were leaking oil, and the grandmother was talking about this in interviews as well. Same thing with the family. And the brother went into how they had to tear apart his nephews from fighting. The CPS worker going into how she saw the youngest child crawl up the wall backwards. So the entirety of this goes into on the actual story, from eyewitness events, same thing with articles, same thing from not only police, hospital records, the landlord, and what we saw from the stepmother of the lady this happened to. She thought all this was a hoax. So what was even more crazy is even the squatters that were in the house before they got kicked out, from what they told Zach, and then everything of that nature. And then even issues with his crew members seeing something that Zach had a dream on, that he saw a demonic figure in his dream where someone on his crew went very insane seeing this, and he had to kick him off the team. And then him attacking Jay, and him not having a memory on that, or wanting to be in the house and then spending the night in the house, which caused him to see and hear things and wreck the living room. And then him having issues with his vision now. which he goes into. And this goes into not only the movie, but it goes into a tiny bit more detail in one of his books as well, which I've read both his books, and I've seen this movie now twice. It's been a while, so I figured go ahead and rewatch it after I watched The Deliverance. And this goes into more of the story of not only the facts, but from the suspicion to the, again, whether it was a hoax or whether it was true. And again, it's for up to everybody to decide whether you believe it or not. And then the house got demolished at the very end of it, which was Dak's decision because he owned the property and he owned the house. I'll take that back. He owned the house. I'm sorry. And he did take dirt from that was found in the basement, and also one of the ladies that did live there, her brother did lose his life in the room in the basement, and that's when, after they left the house a couple days later, she had issues with her daughter trying to do something, had to take her to a priest to get an exorcism, and it seemed to work. So a lot of things in this, again, if you're a Ghost Adventures fan, you're going to see a lot of things in this if you haven't seen this yet. Same thing if you're a paranormal fan, you're going to be seeing a lot of things. Zach experienced some loss on this film as well with some friends that were very close to him that had been on the show, which were different mediums that I'm not going to go into, of how they lost their lives, and then a bunch of other things that occurred. I heavily recommend this film. I heavily recommend this film to ones that have yet to see it. Now, again, regardless of whether you like Zach Bagans or not, I can give him this much credit. He goes into the deepest ways to find proof, to basically, hey, is this BS or is this true? And that's the best thing to do, when not only when you're doing an investigation, but also to prove if something's paranormal or not paranormal. Now, I will say this on a side note. The main thing I would like to know is I would like to hear Zach's thoughts on this film. I really would. I would love to hear Zach's thoughts on this film. Whether someone asked him or I asked him or whatever, it's up to him if he wanted to participate in that. It would be an honor to even speak to him. It would be an honor to even have him on this platform. But regardless of that, I think that anyone that wants, I would say, more of the true story, then you're probably going to want to watch this. Because again, The Deliverance does a good job at portraying what happened, but again, they put more of the horror entertainment Hollywood vibe in that, rather than just saying, okay, hey, this is what happened, and going into every detail that was on paper, that was from eyesight to eyewitness accounts to everything. And again, there was more eyewitness accounts than there was anything else of someone saying it was not true rather than it is true. Even there was police that would not want to go into that house. There was issues where, again, with the CPS workers, the main CPS worker, after she saw that happen, she quit her job, moved, and had to get help from a therapist. Same thing from one of the other gentlemen that was doing voice recordings. He caught something on audio. So again, there's a lot of things not only caught on audio, caught on visual, caught from different things that people experience from their health. A lot of craziness. This was probably one of the most interesting stories within the paranormal that I've ever heard, alongside the Amityville house and among others. So again, if you guys have not seen this, definitely check it out. And if you have seen it, what are your thoughts on this? But again, let me know what you guys think about this. Hopefully that anyone that has seen the movie or has yet to see the movie, watch this first, and maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. Or you may agree with me, you may not agree with me. Either way, that's fine. But either way, again, I think this was a very good investigation, a good film on something that happened with true events, that did not, I would say, beat around the bush. That was very straightforward, and also went into the actual facts rather than just kind of making it sexy, making it this, making it that, to make it look good on film. Which, again, this was not the purpose, to make it look good on film. It was telling you an actual facts on what happened to this family, and what happened to these people, and what happened to these eyewitnesses, and what happened to everybody that was involved, from a law enforcement standpoint, to a child protective services standpoint, to a hospital staff standpoint, to everyone else that was involved in this. But let me know what you guys think about this regardless. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to see you guys, as always, on the very next one.